having a great week. So I haven't been able to post lately because of a very bad respiratory infection that I've come across. It's been pretty tough to get over this, but now that I'm well, I'm happy to present to you the Houston Terminal, Part 1. So this is going to be the southwest part of Houston. So southwest Houston, Richmond, Rosenberg, Sugar Land, Missouri City, Stafford, all that stuff. So you're going to see Union Pacific trains, of course, on the Glidden sub, Terminal sub, well, Houston sub, the BNSF side, which is the Galveston sub, Kansas City Southern trackage right on the Glidden, and as well as some BNSF trackage rights. So, without further ado, this is the Houston Terminal, Part 1 of Southwest Houston. Hope you guys enjoy. The first train that we got was Kansas City Southern MSCSH. This is a mixed freight train coming out of Sanchez Yard in Nuevo Laredo, bound for Shreveport, Louisiana's Paramus Yard. This had a Thundercab SD70ACE leading, and this is at Control Point Sugar Land, which is a good spot to get trains. Not sure where these are headed. This spot is right west of US 59 and US 90 intersection. This is a really good place because it's out of the way and you don't have to worry about traffic. The only problem is that we have noise of the rushing cars passing. To me, that's not that big of a deal. But if it is to you, then this spot maybe should consider coming to. After the KCS MSDSH, we set up at the Brooks Crossing in downtown Sugar Land, Texas. This is next to the Imperial Sugar Mill and the Children's Discovery Center. This is on the side of the US 90, which at that time was the sunny side. This train horn is a wayside horn, as you can see on the top right-hand side of your screen on the other side. This train is the ROTJV, coming out of Ogden, Texas, bound for a place called Jersey Village. Right behind the ROTJV is the ILBHO. ILBHO is an intermodal train heading from San Antonio's South San Antonio Yard, bound for Senegast Yard in Houston, Texas. You may be wondering, how am I getting so many trains? Well, it's because we hit the right spot. This is around 4 p.m., and this is an awesome time to get trains because a lot of the trains are coming out of Englewood Yard or are arriving into Englewood Yard, which means that this is a lot of good train traffic and also gets people stuck at crossings. I don't know why they do this, but it's part of the precision scheduled railroading plan that they implemented in 2020. About 20 minutes after the ILBHO, the MEWMX came through. On this train was the Kansas City Southern 4009. This is the locomotive commemorating the workers of Kansas City Southern and Kansas City Southern Day, Mexico during the 2020 coronavirus pandemic. This was also made possible by a lot of rail fans who informed me of this train coming into Houston. However, catching it on the MEWMX was pure luck. The next day, we're in Richmond, Texas, the site of the very historic Southern Pacific Trestle Bridge across the Brazos River. However, today, I'm not after that. Today, I'm after some horn action, because this crossing will soon become a quiet zone, and I wanted to get the horns blaring through Richmond. So, here is the first train that I got. This is the MEWTO, a mixed freight train coming out of Englewood Yard heading towards Eagle Pass, Texas. Now, this is another example of how Fridays are an awesome day to catch trains. The day before was a Thursday, and this Friday was around 3:30 p.m. Again, an awesome time to catch trains, especially before the weekend. Next is the UPMKBHO. This is a train coming out of Kirby Yard in San Antonio, bound for Houston, with another Thundercab SD70 ACE leading.
UP detector, milepost 34.5, track 2, no defect, total axle 248, detector out.
This is a rock train shuffling into its destination of the Missouri City Rock District. This train is at Cravens Road in Missouri City, just west of the Beltway 8. Coming across Cravens as it needs to access the switch that is on the east side of the quarry. After stopping, the train reverses into the quarry. This next train is the MEWMX with the 1943 Spirit of the Union Pacific SE-78H leader. All EMD power. Love it. Awesome K5LLA on this train also. This is the MEWMX coming out of Englewood Yard heading towards Mexico. Actually Laredo, where it will interchange with KCSM to head into Mexico. This train is fairly easy to predict because it either departs around 5 p.m. or around noon. This time it's around noon. The next day I heard of some goodies coming to Houston. This train is the MSZSH, same train symbol that we saw at the beginning, with the same origin and destination. The origin is Sanchez, Mexico, and the destination is Shreveport, Louisiana, just in case you forgot. This train has a lot better power, with a Canadian Pacific GEVO, a Kansas City Southern Tier 4, and another Canadian National. In Rosenberg now with my buddy Alexander. We are now waiting for the best train of the day, or possibly of this video, the QCHI ROB with the Mac Duo leading. But first, here's another Union Pacific train, specifically ROGDJ. Next, another friend of mine showed up. Random Texas Rail fan. Alex is King Southwest Texas Rail fan. And this train is the MEW MX once again, with a K3HL AC4400 rebuild leading. It's almost time for the QCHI ROB, but first, another train on the BNSF side now, heading towards Galveston. I don't remember what the train symbol was, but here it is anyway. Now for the star of the show, the QCHI ROB. This train is coming from Chicago, Illinois, and going to Robstown, Texas. About a week later, here's another train, the MSDSH, once again, with a nice horn on the leader. And nice crew, actually. The next day, there was a huge railfan meetup in Rosenberg with Jack from Jack Carson's Rail Videos, Jim from Jim Lee Elevators, Train Lover 18, and Alex once again. This is the only train we got besides one of them, which I'm not including in this video because it was a horrible video. But this is I believe, the GKC MXS. I'm back at Brooks now, and this time we're getting the MEWMX. Wonder how many times I'll say MEWMX in this video. The last train of the day for this video is, you guessed it, or maybe not, the RBDME. This train is flying. I've never seen a train going so fast. Probably was standing a bit too close for my liking of this video. This one's rare. A Union Pacific coal train coming on the Glidden sub. I've never seen this before. But you're gonna want to see this because I'm leaving this whole clip in because during the train a coal hopper door flipped open and you can hear it. And Southern Pacific 60 something, I forgot the number, on his TPU on this one. Next up, I'm in Arcola, Texas. This train is the TPL GAT, coming from Temple, Texas, bound for Galveston. This train had a P5 horn on the meter. awesome. Never heard one before. Except that time I heard it on an NS, but that was a P5A. You guys won't believe it. The next day, I'm at trains again. Nothing's wrong with me. Anyway, here is the NSCSH, this time with a Canadian National Tier 4 depot leading and a recently rebuilt CSX C44 ACF. Okay, I'm out rail fanning again. What's wrong with me? Nothing. Anyway, this, oh, this is KCS 4818 K5HLB! Please tell me why am I so cringe? Couple of days later, back at it again. Today, MKBHO, NS, and KCS on it. I saw this train the other day. Who cares? Blah blah blah. It's a train with a Norfolk Southern. I care, okay? It's foreign power, my video, my choice. Next is probably the millionth MEWMX that I've seen in my life. Well, here it is again. Missouri City, regular train, Tier 4 leading, whatever. Well, it's a train, I guess. Next is the GDA CPA 923A with an H1 BNSF leading! I promise, this is the last day I go rail fanning for this video. Like, actually it's not, sorry. Anyway, I think. But anyway, here is the Amtrak, passing Kansas City Southern Mass. Or Ring. I can't remember.
Yes, 1914. Hey, so brother, you got a 12 o'clock to work too. Holy mackerel. My God, I have 3 KCS 12, 12, 15, 12, and 1. Boy, this is going to be fun. Wonder who worked last night.
Here is another KCS grain train. Well, nothing really good on this one, but that's a train, I guess. But this is the GKC MXS heading from Kansas City, Missouri, bound for Mexico City, Mexico. Guess what? Another Kansas City Southern grain train. This one is the GKCQR. The next train is the KCS LRNRN. This train comes out of Kendallton Yard, heads to Beaumont, and comes back while switching customers in between. This train is coming out of PTRA and heading back to Kendallton. The last train of this video is the Union Pacific IHOSA, intermodal coming out of Houston, bound for San Antonio.